I'm doing this live stream from Los Angeles, but I will be moving to Korea in a couple of months, so that will actually make it easier for me to do live streams because I will be in Asia, and then I know a lot of you are in Taiwan and other parts of Asia, so it'll be easier. So it'll be easier to do the live stream. Okay. Now, other people had suggested that I start a TikTok account or post on Twitter. So, what are your thoughts on using those platforms as a way to promote English or do lessons? So yeah, let me know. Write it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Alright, so, gosh, I thought more people would join in, but that's okay. We can just keep waiting for them. Go live. So is this, what kind of app is this? You mentioned that Bigo Live is a good way to live stream or to just post videos. I've never heard of it actually. And okay, so in the meantime, did you happen to also make sentences using any of the phrases from any of the videos? If so, can go ahead and write them in the comments. That way we can practice them. Or if you have any questions about any of the videos, let me know too, so that I can give you some suggestions. But anyway, okay, so yeah, from the recent videos I've been posting, basically every day, there's just like one phrase I would teach in the video. So if you happen to have a sample sentence, you can write it in the comments there. Otherwise, I will go ahead and show you some of my own examples. I picked 5 or 6 of the ones that I found to be the most useful, and by and then you can see some more examples. There's tons of them. I think there are about 30 of them, and they're all useful. Everything I post is useful. They're commonly used. I mean, there's probably thousands of such phrases that native speakers will use, but I want to make sure that whatever I post on my channel is commonly used. So if you see it on my channel, then it's something that you will probably see every day, because there's lots of things you might see in books or movies that get used very rarely, but that you might not be able to just see it and then use it every day. It might sound a little weird. So if you do see it on my video, then or if you do see it on my channel, then it's something that you will probably hear a native speaker say, or you might see it in a movie, and you know it's common. And the way I actually picked them is, what I did was I would hear the phrases used by other people in context and then write them down, and that's how I get ideas for the videos. So that's how you know it's going to be used all the time. Oh, good. You have one example here. So the question is, have I heard of the phrase, "Hey, come on, it's a prank, don't rise to the bait"? Personally, I haven't heard that used in conversation before, or in a movie, actually. But I can only imagine that it means, like, don't take it so seriously. It's not a big deal. It's like somebody's just kidding. So if that's correct, let me know. But no, it isn't actually one that I've heard in conversation before. But I mean, if you've heard of it and you can use it yourself, I'm sure it's perfectly fine, especially if you've heard it in a movie. So again, I want to also discuss the channel is meant to be a place where you can come, if perhaps you've heard a phrase and you don't know what it means, you can come to the channel and see if I have it, or if you just want to learn some more common phrases, you can watch the show, or watch the channel, watch the videos. And also, if you just want to get some more listening practice, watching the videos are a great way to get a good feel for the speed that native speakers might use, and also the style of phrasing, pronunciation, and flow. It's just good practice to get. Hold on a second. Looks like there might be a little confusion with the link, so let me see if I can fix this. So it should be working now, actually. Okay, so sorry about that. So I just wanted the channel to be somewhere where you could get comfortable hearing other native speakers talk, so that when you listen to other people speak, or you see a movie, or you're watching shows, it gets easier because you're used to the speed and the types of phrases that are used. So for now, why don't I go ahead and go into some of the examples that I've used, that I made, and then that way we can get some practice, and then if more people come on, you have more questions, just go ahead and leave them. Okay, so I prepared some phrases here, as you can see them. Okay, so the first phrase I picked is throw off. Now this one, the five that I picked are probably either the five that I thought were the most useful, or that seemed to get the most likes or views. It seemed like people were interested in that. Oh, shoot, what's going on? Damn it. Hold on a sec, sorry. There's a little bit of a technical difficulty. Okay, so throw off. It's basically means that you're confused, or you were suddenly lost by the way somebody spoke or the way somebody acted. This one is used a lot, actually. I would say maybe every day I hear somebody say this, like, I was thrown off by the way she looked at me, or when you wear a suit, it throws me off because I'm used to seeing you in street clothes. That's a really common one. So I picked a few examples. One of them is he's normally a calm person, but he was super excited to me. But he was super excited today, so it threw me off. And so basically, you're used to seeing someone a certain way, but then they suddenly changed, so it confused you, it threw you off. The second one is like, stop waving your hands like that. It's throwing me off. So in this context, it means more like you're distracting me. So oftentimes, if you're playing a game and somebody's talking, or let's say I'm trying to make a speech and somebody's trying to get my attention while I'm making the speech, then it throws me off. So sort of like how I'm having some technical difficulties with the live stream. I'm trying to do the live stream and I'm getting thrown off because like the links aren't working or something. So I'm getting thrown off. Or you can tell somebody, look, hey, you should stay focused. Don't let her throw you off, or like, don't let her throw you off your game. So it's essentially like, don't let her confuse you. Don't let her distract you. So think of throw off. It can be replaced with distracted or confused. Okay, and the second one. Oop. The second one here is cut me some slack. So the origin of this phrase is actually slack on a rope. So when a rope is not tight, it's loose, that's called having slack. So if you cut somebody some slack, it's like you're giving them some rope, you're giving them some space, you're giving them some room to relax and be comfortable. It's basically a analogy. So sometimes people will be in a position where they are feeling like somebody is putting too much pressure on them, or they're upset that they made a mistake. So in a defensive emotional state, you would say, hey, cut me some slack. Like give me a break. It's the same as give me a break. Like, hey, cut me some slack. Relax. Like, back off. And you can say that as a reaction in conversation. Or you can use it in a sentence like I did and say it like, I didn't cut my students any slack last time. They should know better. So as a teacher, you can tell your students, like, I'm going to give you one more warning, and if you don't do it, then I'm going to get you in trouble. So if you don't cut your students any slack, then they basically get in trouble. If you do cut them slack, then it's just like a warning, something easy. You can call it a slap on the wrist. The second example I used is the boss is cutting us a ton of slack. We got lucky. So, for instance, if you are maybe 2 employees and you made a mistake. Maybe you messed up on a project, or you were late getting your work done. Your boss might either be really upset and, like, I don't know, cut your pay or something, or they can cut you slack and say, you know what, don't make that mistake again, otherwise I'll fire you, something like that. So if your boss is cutting you slack, then you don't get in trouble. So the boss is cutting us a ton of slack. We got lucky this time. All right. So it's okay. The last example is, it's my first time making a mistake, so he gave me a break. But next time, he's not going to cut me any slack. I'm sure of it. So this is another more general example of how to say cut me some slack or not cut me some slack. If you've ever heard I gave them a break, or they gave me a break, or I didn't get a break, then it's the same meaning. Cutting slack. So it's my first time making a mistake, so he cut me some slack, but next time he won't cut me any slack. Okay. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments, and then I can slow down. Otherwise, I'll just go to the next one. All right. Okay. All right. So this next example, stay on top of it or stay on top of things, you can replace I know I'm handsome. So this is a good example. The comment left was, stop praising me like that. Cut me some slack, please. I know I'm handsome. So this is sort of a more sarcastic way to use it. It's kind of like a joke, as he obviously puts LOL. But yeah, so cut me some slack, like give me a break. Okay, so stay on top of it. Like I said before, you can replace it with whatever you're staying on top of. So maybe if you're an employee, it's your work. Maybe if you're a student, it's your studies. Whatever you need to be managing or taking care of, that's what you're staying on top of. So you would be, if you're a student, you would want to stay on top of your homework so that you don't get behind and then you still get good grades. Because if you don't stay on top of your schoolwork, then your grades are going to get worse and you'll probably have to drop out. So the example, she was the top student in high school but couldn't stay on top of her work in college, so she had to drop out, which is too bad. And then the next example involves like your work. So you could say, this job is really tough. I get lots of requests every day. Maybe you work in customer service and people are constantly calling you and you have to solve their problems and answer their questions. So I guess the recommendation there is just to stay on top of it, or stay on top of your work, and you won't get overwhelmed. And this is just good advice in general. You should always stay on top of whatever you need to do. Otherwise, you're just going to get run over. Okay. And for me, this is actually an example I used for myself. I'm really bad at staying on top of things. I always get behind. So that's something for me to work on. Like making videos. Trying to stay on top of video editing is pretty hard, actually. It takes hours every day. So I want to make sure I stay on top of my work, and then I will have much less stress. So, yeah. Okay. Hope not going too fast. Just let me know if you're behind at all. And we have, let's see, a couple more here. And then after that, I will probably wrap up. We'll probably do more of these in the future because there are a lot of examples. And just making the videos alone, it can be hard if you have questions or you want to see more examples. It's difficult to be able to just get that from the video. So that's why I do these live streams. It's like it's just supplementary for you. Okay, so throw in the towel. This is also another very common one. It basically just means to give up. If you've seen the video, that's the exact definition. Throwing in the towel comes from boxing. It's actually a sports analogy. So in boxing, when your boxer is about to get knocked out, he's really tired, you think he should give up, but he hasn't, then you actually would, as the manager, you would take a white towel and throw it into the ring, and that means the fight is over. You've given up, it's over, it's done. That's why you're throwing in the towel. You're giving up. So the example I used is when I saw the test questions, I threw in the towel pretty much right away. I just filled in the same answer for all of them and gave up, basically. So if it's a really difficult test, you might throw in the towel. Or if you're trying to solve a problem and you can tell it's almost impossible. Or maybe you're working out and you can't complete it. It's just way too difficult. Then you would throw in the towel. And again, the exercise analogy. Maybe you're playing sports, so you can tell your team is much worse than the other team. And you can say, oh, look, I can tell they're about to throw in the towel. Maybe you're rooting for your team and it looks like they're going to lose. So you just say, I'm throwing in the towel. They look tired. We're not going to win. They're going to give up. They're throwing in the towel. And the last one, you can use this for like any situation. So in this case, dating. You can see two people. Maybe your friend is going out with somebody that maybe doesn't seem like they would work out together. So you can say to your friend, hey, I bet those two date for like a week before he throws in the towel. She's too crazy for him. Something like that. I gave up, or he's going to give up. Throwing in the towel. Okay. Okay, so this last one that I'm going to do here, get the ball rolling. This one's used a lot in business. So the basis for this phrase is to just say, let's get started. Oftentimes it has to do with starting a project. So in my case, I got into a car accident and the insurance called me and they said, hey, we should get the ball rolling on your repairs. Let's start tomorrow. So get the ball rolling just means to start something. Maybe you're getting the ball rolling on planning for a party or planning an event. It's a long project, so you want to just get started so that you can get some momentum. As a ball rolls, it gets more and more momentum and faster. So you just want to start. And of course, you'll hear this a lot in business. For some reason, it's a really catchy business term. People like to use it in business context, so they'll use it quite a bit. So I want to go back actually to the last example. Somebody had given their own example. I think I've tried my best already. I'm going to throw in the towel now. I don't want to waste my time on this rubbish or this garbage nonsense. This is a great example. Thank you so much. Basically you are giving up, and after you've tried your best, you say, I'm throwing in the towel. I think we're finished with that. Okay, so going back to, to get the ball rolling. So the example I used is, let's say you are a client and you are working with the manager of another company, and you say, hey, after I talked to the manager, they got the ball rolling right away and started working on the project immediately. So they got the ball rolling, they started immediately. And then perhaps you could be in a conversation and you could say, why don't I take a look at your proposal and then we can get the ball rolling tomorrow. Now, as you can see, the tense, these are not necessarily fixed expressions. So part of the difficulty is when there is a specific colloquial phrase or an idiom, it's not always written like that. You have to pay attention to the tense. So the first example I said, got the ball rolling. And in this example, get the ball rolling tomorrow. So it's future tense. So you do have to pay attention to that if you are going to use the phrase properly. Just something to think about. And then the last one I used, the builders said they'd get the ball rolling by next month. So we're all set. It's going to start. We're fine. So if you have an example you want to put now, that would be perfect. You don't have to use the ones that I just used. You can write down your own if you came up with your own example. So that's perfectly fine. Oops. Okay. Second here. Like I said, that's perfectly fine. You can add whatever sentences you want. Otherwise, you can, if you wanted to see the examples that I used, you can go back and watch the live stream again, and then that way you can get some more practice. And if you're feeling really enthusiastic, really motivated to learn more, I would try to combine them, because people in conversation are not going to use just one or two of these phrases. They're going to use many of them, even connect them while they're trying to make a sentence. So it's good to be so comfortable with them that you can connect them, and that way you'll get more comfortable when you're talking to other people, or you hear it in a movie. Oh, cool. You have another example. Our business has been in the red for a few quarters. Yes, this is a very common one. And if you're not familiar, being in the red means you are losing money, and being in the black means you are making money. So this is kind of a side thing, but if you're looking at your bank statements or your accounts, anytime there's a negative loss of money, it is written in red, and if it's positive, there's income, then it's written in black. So that's why he says it's in the red for a few quarters. So about 9 months they're going to be in the red. Why don't we get the ball rolling on some new products? So this is a really good one. This is totally something you would hear in a business context. Some project is not working, and then they want to get started on something new, so that way, like, look, we gave up on that. We threw in the towel on that other project. We were in the red. Why don't we get the ball rolling on this new project? This is a great example of how you might combine two colloquial phrases, two idioms in the same context. So this is a great example. And then Brian writes, when will you get the ball rolling on scheduling your next live stream? So, haha, very funny. But yes, as I get used to doing more of these live streams, and people are aware of them, and we learn more about them, I want to make it a regular thing anyway. So probably, I don't know, like once a week, every 2 weeks. It would be great, because there are so many phrases and different ways to use them. The live stream makes it a lot easier for me to kind of explain how you might use them and how you might combine them. And look, it's already taken 40 minutes, right? I can't make a video that's 40 minutes, so this live stream is the perfect way to do that. So as I get better at doing this and I get a schedule together, expect more live streams in the future. So those are all the examples I have. Again, the channel is meant for you to get more comfortable hearing phrases that native speakers like to use, and so that when you do hear them later, you think, yeah, I remember hearing that somewhere, and it doesn't just go past you without you understanding it. So for now, I think I'm going to end the live stream. If you have more questions, please leave a comment. I'm going to post this live stream afterwards, so if you missed it, you can go ahead and watch it. And I also have information about how to contact me through Facebook Messenger or by email if you want to do like a collaboration or you have more questions. I'd love to hear them, so please keep the conversation going. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you in the next live stream. Bye.